Had to put my hoodie on for this one. Boy ain't got no haircut. I didn't get a haircut all month. I saved $45 though, so it's all good. What's good, YouTube? I go by the name of Q. If you're unfamiliar, if you are familiar, shout out to you. Welcome back to the channel. I mentioned in my last video, where I actually didn't mention it, but it was a pinned comment, and I talked about how most people will never pay their debt back until they feel an immense amount of pain. Till the lights get cut off, till you're hit with some overdraft fees, till you're not sure how you're gonna put gas in your car to get somewhere, to foreclosure, to wage garnishment. Like myself, you're gonna feel something. It's gonna be something significant and something very painful that you feel inside. I really believe that's what it takes in order to get somebody to turn their financial situation around. Unfortunately, I've experienced most of these things, which is why I can speak on it, because I have that personal experience factor. I've had wage garnishment before. I've dealt with overdraft fees. I've had my cell phone cut off. I've even had a repossession that I've never mentioned on this channel. I had a repossession that I didn't have to pay back, thank you goodness, but I've had a car repossessed and I didn't pay it back, right? It took 7 years for that to fall off my credit report, but I've dealt with all of those things, and it's terrible. It's really bad. I don't want anybody to deal with that, but unfortunately, that's what it's going to take. Let me know, like, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but the general consensus says otherwise. You're going to have to feel something. Something's going to have to hit you in your gut to the point where you say, I'm going to do something different. Like, clearly what I'm doing is not working. I'm going to switch it up. And it's easier said than done, I know, but once you get the ball rolling, I promise you it's going to be the best thing you've ever done in your life. Some people may be pro debt. Some people are anti debt. I'm right in the middle. If I'm being honest, I personally believe that there is good debt and bad debt. It's all about how you manage it. I'm not against going into debt. That's the truth. But what you go into debt for is more important. Like, I'm fine with going into debt for assets. Let's say real estate being one. Let's say a business being the second. And even school. Even school. Like, I went into debt for school. You know, I'm not the school guy. Let's be honest. I'm not super studious. I never wanted to go to school to begin with. The reason I went was to make my father proud, right? I don't regret it, but that's the truth. I went to school based on what somebody else wanted me to do, and it is what it is. I learned a valuable lesson from it by paying my student loans off and learning all the financial knowledge that I have today from it. So that's one reason I don't regret it. But going into debt for frivolous things, not knowing what your interest rates are if you're using credit cards or if you're financing a vehicle, that's what hurts people. That's what really hurts people. And I'm not trying to be the, I used to follow Dave Ramsey. If you've been following me for some time, you know for a fact I was hardcore Dave Ramsey at one point, honestly, and I'll make a video about that in the future, but I'm really not on what he's on right now. I'm more realistic because I know what a lot of people, you're going to do what you're going to do anyway, no matter what I say. Like I said, you have to feel something in your personal life to actually take the reins of what you got going on. Like what I'm saying won't necessarily sway you one way or the other. People are going to do what people are going to do, and I understand that. But just having that mindset of, if I do this, then this will happen. Understanding opportunity costs, understanding all the consequences behind your action, because some of the purchases people make, 9 times out of 10, they really don't even want to make. It's like impulse purchases, right? It's a lot, and majority of it is psychological. Psychological and then behavior. How many times you heard somebody say, Target took my money? If I had $1 for every time I heard somebody say that, I would have a lot of money. Just in dollars, Target took my money. No, Target didn't take your money. It was a 50-50. They'll say, I went to Target, I just meant to buy $20 worth of stuff, and I ended up with a whole cart full of stuff. For one, you were sold, right? We'll give Target credit for selling, because there is a psychology behind planograms. I've worked in retail before. Eye level is buy level. Of course, they put the big bright signs in your face. They have this is on sale with the fine. So Target played their part, but you also played a part by not being able to control your impulses. It all comes down to psychology and behavior. Like I said, you have to control yourself before you blame anybody else. With all the craziness going on in the economy right now, there is no better time. No better time than now. In my opinion, there's no better time than right now to start taking control of your finances, paying off all of that excess consumer debt. It's a lot of money flowing around. It's a whole lot of money circulating. That money could be used to go towards your debt. Like I would be scooping that money up, like shoveling that money up, because it's a lot of job openings out here. People not even returning to work. I know y'all seen the headlines. People are staying at home. Jobs are paying sign-on bonuses. Just your regular everyday jobs are paying sign-on bonuses just to get people to come back to work and make that money. So it's a prime time. Like you have the used car market that's at an all-time high. So it's some craziness going on, man. It's some craziness going on, and it won't be like this forever. That's a fact. It will not be like this forever. When things go back to normal, next thing you know, you're gonna be wishing like, man, I wish I would have taken advantage of those opportunities when they presented themselves. And the pain. We talked about the pain. You're gonna have to feel something. You're gonna have to feel something. You have to figure out which one. You won't feel something no matter what. It's the pain of being in debt, or the pain of being stressed from not being able to pay this or not being able to pay that, or the pain of regret. That's the honest to God truth. And the pain of regret, in my opinion, might be the worst one. Might be the worst of the two. I don't have any regrets to this day, so I really don't know what that pain is like. But I've spoken to people who have regrets about certain things, and some came to tears about it. I'm not trying to come off as some debt whisperer, or I'm not the Black Dave Ramsey. I've been called that before, and I almost threw up. I'm just me. I'm Q. I'm somebody who's been through it and somebody who's looking to help as many people as I can. Anybody. So I'll leave you with this. Me being an action taker, it's only right that I encourage you to take action as well. I'm always going to do that. Don't wait. Whatever you do, don't wait, because it's going to do nothing but hinder you. That's what it's going to do. It's going to hinder you. You're going to kick the can down the road. Like, think about the people who were waiting for student debt cancellations. Like, yes, everything's on pause. All of the federal student loans, the interest is paused, the payments is paused. But at the end of the day, why aren't you taking advantage of that 0% interest rate? I know some of you are, but I know a lot of people who are not paying on their student loans because they don't have to. And news just came out that that's going to start back in October. So then what? It's like, it's been a whole, what, maybe 18 months that you've been waiting and wishing and crossing your fingers. You have to take that action. You have to take accountability and just make it happen. I'm in the process of streamlining my coaching and consulting business, so you'll be seeing a join button here really soon on the channel. I'll also be opening up an accountability group for anybody who's serious about being held accountable, who wants to pay off their debt. I'll know if you join, and just for genuine supporters as well. That will include weekly Zoom calls and phone calls via the Clarity app, which will be pay structured, but I'll also be doing cash giveaways. So that way there's more incentive for those who are serious. Like I said, those who are serious, I'll know if you book, and those who are serious will be rewarded accordingly. Stay tuned for that. That's in the works. In the meantime, like this video if you like it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't. Also follow me on IG. Q Makes It Happen on Instagram. Show your boy some love. I go by the name of Q, and like I always say, if Q can make it happen, you can make it happen. I'll let y'all next video. Peace.